Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it is for you. It's good to see you again back on my channel, you feel me? Alright, so a lot of you might know about this game. It's called Bladers Odyssey. And I'm gonna be honest, I didn't find out about this game until you guys started commenting on my first video I ever made on Bladers Rebirth. You guys are talking about so you've never heard about Bladers Odyssey. So I got curious and I searched it up. And I seen Bladers Odyssey and I realized it was a pretty good game, but I didn't realize how close it was to actually releasing. So yesterday they had like a stage event. It was about like an hour long. I watched the whole thing and I made some timestamps. So the end of this video will be timestamps of some of the most important things that they were talking about. Like they had a pre-Q&A. They talked about the origins of the games. You got to meet the dev team. They gave a little team statement on why you should play Bladers Odysseys. They had some good questions, you know. They explained the game mechanics, game passes, game mode, story mode, ranked, special moves, alpha release. And this game is really, to me, it seems more like a lore accurate version of Beyblade as opposed to Bladers Rebirth. Like they have things like blade syncing, you know, they have the actual Beyblades from Beyblade, you know what I'm saying? And overall this game is looking kind of crazy, I'm not gonna lie. Is it better than Bladers Rebirth? That's up to you. We haven't played the game yet, so I think we should keep comparisons comparisons respectful, because Bladers Rebirth is a pretty good game, but we can also say Bladers Odyssey looks like it's going to be a pretty good game too. Any diehard Bladers Rebirth fans, I don't know what I titled this video yet, but don't get triggered. It's just a catchy title. The dev team of Bladers Odyssey, they all seem like really cool people, you know. I hope the game does as well as they hope it does. I hope it does better than they're hoping or they're expecting. They have a channel, Bladers Odyssey, and you can see all the sneaks there. They have a lot of sneaks, but I'm gonna basically summarize one of the things for you if you don't want to watch the whole video. Basically, the alpha release, it doesn't really start till like June. So alpha release is in like June, and in the last 2 weeks of it, content creators get to play the game. So like basically in a little less than like 2 months, I guess. But then after that, I think it's like you guys open testing. That's what happens right after it. So like open testing basically in end of June to July, I'm pretty sure. But I'm gonna literally leave the video up, so that don't take my word for it, because I don't remember. I'm making this video in the morning. That's why my voice sounds like this. And I haven't watched the stream back. But yeah, without further ado, I'm gonna let the devs and the mod team do the talking.
Teddy asks, so about the types of Beyblade, like attack types, attack a lot, and defense types stay in the center. Is it like the anime when a Beyblade attacks like a defense type? Does the defense type not get pushed back? Or does it get pushed back? I'll let Aaron answer this one because he's the expert on this kind of stuff.
Yeah, so we're planning on adding more like functionality for the defense type bays. So for defense type bays, we're hoping that you don't get knocked back if you like stay in the center. But for right now, most of the bays, like all the bays, are gonna like have a collision force, and you guys collide and get knocked back. So
awesome. Nicola S11 asks, will Turbo Awaken State be added to the game? And I'm interested in the release date of the game. I'm just gonna say stay tuned for that. As for Turbo Awaken, we're just doing Gen 1 bays, so dual layer bays as of release. We'll be doing the the sequel gens if the first gen sort of is a success. If it's not, it'll cap off at first gen. So that depends on you guys. If you want to sort of make the game pop off, we'd appreciate that. Fabiano asks, do you guys plan to do awakenings for parts like rubber for Savior Valkyrie, Chassis 2D, and almost all the rubber drivers? To answer that, yeah, we are having passive abilities in the game. We'll talk more about that later in the stream. Planet12_ asks, he actually asked 4 questions, but he said if you want to answer just one, answer the 4th one. On a scale of 0 to 100, how is the progress of the game? This will probably be the last question I'm going to cover for the pre-Q&A, because all the other questions are exact sort of replicas. But to answer this question, this is a pretty important question to address. The game is moving on really well. As of now, we would say our first phase, arc, we'll talk more about this later. That phase is pretty much almost done, just needs some more polishing up. We are working right now on future installments, so Gen 2, Gen 3, so on. We feel like it'll be smoother sailing after Alpha's done, because Alpha makes up the front load of work. After that's done, we'll be more than happy to sort of, you know, push out more updates for you guys. We will have a lot more features implemented into the game, so stay tuned for that in the news. If the host would like to continue.
Oh, all right. So that's the pre-Q&A. Now that that's over, I will be passing the mic off to the devs for our first annual stakeholder showcase with a bit of an introduction to the game.
I am so stupid. I'm sorry. Yeah, so when talking about Bladers Odyssey, you guys first gotta understand where we came from. So about 3 years ago, me and one of the other board members of the game, PC, had a bit of a dream. We had a dream to sort of bring a fresh new game to the community that isn't as outdated as other games in the community at the time. So back then we had sort of, a couple of other Beyblade games that were pretty outdated in our opinion. So we wanted to bring a new game into the market. And that project was A Blader's Journey, or ABJ. Once we started this project, we were hopelessly lost. We didn't have any idea of how all this management stuff worked, nor did we have any devs to help us along the way. It was just me and PC against the entire community. That was a failure. We failed ourselves, we failed our dreams, and we definitely failed our community. When someone says we're being lazy or we're not managing our game properly, I just wanted to let it be known that we're always cautious about what we do because we've constantly been failing for 3 years straight. We experienced all of what this market can throw at us, and we've been chugging along. We don't want to fail again, and we're hoping the Bladers Odyssey will be our shot at redeeming ourselves.
So while KFC was fighting his demons in ABJ, me and Zach came from a separate game called Project Bay. So it wasn't just me and Zach, it was also Zooted at the time. He's a dev now. So basically we had a dream to put Beyblade on the front page of Roblox because let's be real, who doesn't like Beyblade? We had all we needed except a modeler. We're probably gonna go down the same way PC and KFC went down, but me and KFC, well, mainly KFC, had a genius thought 12 months ago. He came to me asking for a merge, and after talking with the team, we decided to finalize the deal to create Bladers Odyssey. At the time, ABJ didn't have a scripter, and we didn't have a Bay modeler. They had a modeler, and we had a scripter. Yeah, vice versa. Though it was a match made in heaven. 11 months ago, we formally started developing this absolute beauty of a game, and we hope you guys will love what's to come today. Try to stay till the end because we have a lot of awesome stuff planned. For those of you who can't stay all the way or aren't here, the stream will be uploaded as a video on our YouTube channel with a summary video as well, so feel free to watch those too. So don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment in the process too. Now that you've heard about our history, let's come to the present. Let me and KFC introduce us to our awesome dev team. Alright, so we got me, creative head, manager of building, 2D resources, so UI, GFX, faces. I'm also a part-time builder and a environmental artist. Then we have Zach on the left side. He's a modeler. He's also the head of marketing. He's a part-time builder and human resources.
So we have PC, one of the OG heads of ABJ. He's a modeler, a part-time builder, creative head, and a social manager. And then you have me. So I'm more of a jack of all trades. I do all the developing disciplines, but I am primarily a modeler, a head of development. I'm a part-time builder as well. I take care of all the financial decisions of the team. I make the environment. I'm moral support because, we need a moral guy. And I also do marketing for the game.
So I'm Aaron. I'm from the basically like head programmer for the game. I do all the backend stuff, the data engineering, data storage. Also do most of the front end programming as well. I specialize in UI and also the special attacks. I'm also a physics expert. You see the physics in the Beyblades. So.
We also have our actual VFX crew. So we have Zeal and Zoot. Aaron, Zeal, and Zoot make up the VFX team. Zeal is our particle VFX specialist. He's also our beam VFX specialist. He's one of the primary VFX artists for the game, and all the front. He is also a front-end scripter. Zoot is also a particle VFX specialist. He makes mesh VFX as well and trail VFX. He's also a primary VFX artist, and he's a front-end scripter. So all those skills you guys see, that all comes from Zoot and Zeal. Next slide, please. Thank you. Then we have our part-timers, Useless and Food. Useless is a builder. He's also a placement artist and environmental artist. He got banned like 20 seconds ago. Food is our rigging specialist, our character animator, and our skin mesh animator. So that launch animation peak you guys had, that was all Food.
All right, so now that you've heard all about us, we get asked a lot as to why we decided to make this game, and we just want to give a bit of clarity about the game as well. We get asked a lot about why start a game in this market, and the answer is pretty simple. We want to make a game, not a simulator. There's a difference, and I'm sure KFC can explain.
Yeah, thanks, Mo. So, in our opinion, I don't want to hate on any other devs out there who make simulators and stuff. The slides, yeah. Just give it a second.
Whoops.
It's alright. Nice.
I'm gonna.
Told you should
Tech difficulties, my bad.
Yeah, it's a little broken.
That, but I'll continue. So thanks, Mo, for that. But in our opinion, I don't want to hate on or shame on any other developers out there who are developing simulators. But a simulator is something you play repetitively over and over, mindlessly thinking you're having fun. But are you really? We don't want to make a grind-fest game. You've seen that time after time with other games. I'll let the slides catch up, so you might want to just spam click. Keep going.
Did you send me a different one? Cause this is the end of it.
Yes, like that. Sorry about that.
I thought you just kept going on the same one. That's my bad.
No. I sent you a different. We'll also be just picking up questions that we see in chat and just answering them as we go. Xernity, Pritish 2008 asks how many bays are coming on release. On release, we'll have 25 bays in game, all from Gen 1. Every single bay in Generation 1 will be in the game.
Yep, so these systems, they activate at the loading screen and they stay active for the rest of the player session in the game. These are the backend data gathering systems. You can't see them, but all the data that's like initialized in the loading screen is reused throughout our systems to give you guys the best playing experience possible. So let me introduce you guys to our OSLog Stadium Touch and Radial Gate systems. So first we have a Stadium Touch, right?
Yep, just
it's basically fully backend. Yeah.
Slides load.
The Stadium Touch system gets all the data from the stadium. The system is basically the backbone of Blair's Odyssey's robust and intuitive combat system. Stadium Touch can get the dimensions of the stadium, its depth, even what color it is. But
we're waiting on slides. Sorry. Should you want to keep going?
Yeah, but its main purpose shines with its Beyblade data. Stadium Touch it's able to get all the data of every Beyblade that's launched within a stadium. This data is forwarded to all of our systems that make the game run smoothly. And that brings us to Radial Gate. Radial Gate is our current movement system for stadiums, and it directly links to Stadium Touch. Radial Gate basically just uses the position data of every Beyblade in relation to the stadium center. We use this data to calculate the distance from the radius and then put an opposite logarithmic force on the bay. In normal people terms, this just means that your bay slows down the further you get from the center. This decreases the chance of you ringing yourself out, and it lets you guys have more fun battles by actually staying inside the stadium.
Those two sound awesome, but let's be real. The ODM physics sneak peek, that was actually hype. So let me give you guys a little look into our OSNIT ODM physics. So basically, ODM physics stands for omnidirectional physics. So what does that mean? Goes in all directions. The bays bounce in BO, something.
I'll do you one better, right? So everyone in VC watching the stream, maybe write this down somewhere. BO will be the first ever Beyblade game to feature a fully immersive game plot as a storyline. And that brings me to our OS Quest system. OS Quest is a front-end and back-end system that includes a fully modular dialogue and camera cutscene module. Using OS Quest logic handling, it lets us create a completely enhanced plotline, so you guys, I'll be ready for that.
Okay, you may have one-upped me there, but instead of talking about something that far into the future, why not talk about the present? Let me give you all a little talk about our special move system. Blader's Odyssey has a very, very expansive special move system. Brace yourselves for this, because there will be not 1, not 2, not 3, but 6 types of special moves in the game. KFC will be covering these in detail later, but let me give credits to both Aaron and KFC for their big brain work on the OS Polaris system, without which all those awesome movement specials wouldn't be possible. Now I'm sure all this tech talk has got you all bored, so let me move on to something slightly more interesting. Let's talk about money. Alright, while BO started off as 2 passion projects merging, our scale of operation has grown so much over the past 11 months. With that comes the need to make a profit, obviously. The game isn't going to be pay to win, but there will be game passes to be introduced. Let me take you through those real quick. BO will feature a couple of planned and confirmed game passes on release. These include the option to purchase a hoverboard, experience boost, and finally, color customization. But wait, there's one final thing that might get your hopes up. BO will be the first Beyblade Roblox game to have not 1, but 2 planned DLCs, in addition to our plot. I can't say much about this. There's a lot to plan, but you heard it here first. But enough about money making. Let's talk about how you guys can make money by being a part of the Bladers Odysseys family. While we don't attract investors, if you remember from our introductions, there are a couple of gaps in our dev lineup. We've been filling them in with commissions and our own skills for the past 11 months, but after we open the game, we're gonna need a well-oiled machine and a good dev lineup to pump out updates fast. That's why we're gonna list out any potential job offers from our side to you guys. If there's any talented devs watching this who want to be a part of this BO journey, please feel free to contact us. So basically what we need is a front-end scripter, we need back-end scripters, we also need modelers who specialize in building, we need animators, and we also need an SFX designer. Now after all that yapping, I'm sure you guys are tired of my voice, so I'll hand over the torch to KFC to give you guys some energy and excitement, because we've got some fire stuff coming up.
Hi, okay, I'm KFC. As you guys already know, I want you guys to take a quick breather just to sort of refresh, because we have the content reveal and we have a lot of other stuff planned. So yeah, gameplay is about to come out, so all of you take a breather. So thanks Mole for that amazing summary of our game so far, but I'm just gonna amp it up now. For all of you, I want you to take a nice stretch and get your glasses on, because now for the first time, it's time to talk about content. What you can expect from the game when you join and how Bladers Odyssey will play out. I'm gonna try not to gatekeep anything from you guys, so you heard it here first. So Bladers Odyssey will feature 3 game modes for play. There's Journeys mode, Ranked mode, and Casual mode. I'll let the slides catch up. Now don't go thinking that these modes are just regular old game modes from a regular old game. In order to progress in the game, the player needs to play all 3 game modes. We're not compromising on the content in the game. There's going to be a lot of different content to play. We're going to make it as immersive as possible for you guys. So let's start off with Journeys mode. As Aaron talked about before, thanks to our OS Quest system, BO will be the first game to have a fully immersive plotline in this community. I'm not talking about 2019 2 Quest plotlines, I'm talking about a full-fledged storyline for the game. BO Journeys is going to be your very own Beyblade Burst adventure, you versus the blading world, something no other game has done in this community. The plotline will be divided into 2 phases in BO, a quest phase and a tournament phase. Explore our map, take on NPC battles, fight a boss, and at the end of each quest, gear up for a tournament and take your chance at glory. Now many of you people who play only for PvP might ask, why play the plot? Well, it's simple. You kind of need to. Journeys mode is essential because it's one of the main ways to obtain bays in the game. Beat a boss and you'll unlock components for their bays. More on this later though. It's ranked time. If you guys will just look at the slides, it's gone now, I'll show you later, but it's ranked time. So if you look at the bottom right, that picture over there, that is our entire plot line for Gen 1. I'm not going to spoil what that means. I'm not going to spoil the actual quest. You guys are going to have to wait for that. But that is how it's going to play out. You guys can take from that image what you guys want to take. But for the next thing we have on queue, we have ranked mode. So slide change, please. Ranked mode is for the PvP player. It's an insane way to earn experience and fast, but just as challenging. For you role players out there, ranked mode is not recommended for you guys. Rank PvP in BO is going to be a completely different ballpark from the base game combat. Every little thing matters. Your launch angle, your bay, your launcher, your positioning, all of it is going to matter when it comes to battles. Up to the challenge, rank mode is for you then. Let's tone it down for a bit and go to the general player and visit casual mode. So casual mode is for the average Bay fan. Go and roleplay to your heart's desire, go fight other bladers, but the most important point of casual mode, the bays. Remember how I said more on the components later? That's because they all come straight down to casual mode. A couple weeks ago, we put up a poll on how grindy you guys want the game to be. You all set a level of 629, not 69. So here's the answer to that. Go hunt for your unlocked bay components across a immersive map and build your bay from scratch. That's the Bladers Odyssey way. Too hard? There definitely will be some tools to come around and help you out. Stay tuned for those incoming peaks. So, now for something a lot of people have been excited for, special moves. A lot of games don't do this, but we do. Let me dive a tiny bit deeper into the game now. You heard about the gameplay loop, but what about the battles? As Mo stated before, there's not just one, not two, but 6 different move archetypes in the game. You heard it here first, folks. Just in case some other games decide to take inspiration from our game. Allow me to introduce you to the most expansive Beyblade moveset on Roblox. Presenting our OS Polaris system-powered movement-based system, our OS NIP-powered static and 2-piece move systems, our area effect move systems, and finally, something that's never been done before in this community, counter and lock moves. There is a 6th type of move that I'm not going to be revealing at this date due to strategic reasons, so stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for later, peeps. So I'm going to go through the moves real quick, just because I don't want to leave you guys in the dust. I'll go in detail here. So OS Polaris, as you saw before in the system rundown, it is a movement-based system. The skill moves focus on movement of the bay. Examples include moves such as Rush Launch, Counter Break, and Rising Shoot. So if you look at the GIFs on the side, you'll see the bay moves actually, they move around the stadium. That is our OS Polaris-based movement system working its job. So after OS Polaris' movement-based moves, we have our 2-piece moves. Now, this is not a 1-piece reference. I'm just saying this right now. 2-piece moves have 2 phases, activation and hit phases. So there will be 2 separate sort of phases for the move. There will be an activation phase, and once you hit, there will be another phase. Examples of this move include Howling Strike, Alicorn Shoot, and Inferno Smash. You've only seen not even one of those moves. You haven't seen any of these moves in action in sneak peeks yet. So this is an exclusive peek. If you look at the GIF on the right, that is Inferno Ifrit's ultimate move, Blazing Destruction. That is a 2-piece move. After our 2-piece moves, we have our static moves. I'm toning it down a bit. Static moves are just your good old general moves. The simplest type of move and has just an activation phase with stat boosts. Examples of this include Ragnarok Zone, which was in a peak that we already peaked, and Wormguard, which is also in a peak that we peaked. Both of them increase your stamina and defense based on the type that you use. Next slide, please. I feel like you guys are going to be super excited about this one, because I sure am excited about this one. Next up, we have our area of effect moves. Now, a lot of you who play MOBA games, you will know what area effect moves are. Area effect moves affect not one bay, but multiple bays in the stadium. Click, please. Examples of this include Ragnarok Tornado in the first peak, where it affected a bunch of bays, Horasuit Field, and Quill Strike. If you look on the right, you'll see that another exclusive peak. That's Quetzalcoatl's ultimate move, Quill Strike. Yeah, Sukuna's Flame Arrow is BO Cannon now. Finally, we have, second last, we have our counter moves. Counter moves we've already covered in our Wild Wyvern peak, but I'm just going to reiterate what they do. Counter moves have a queue system. When they're used, they won't hit unless you're hit first. So that sort of gets rid of concerns that if I'm using a counter move, what if someone just dodges me? They won't be able to dodge you because they're not going to know you're using a move. Once they touch you, you will start hitting their bay with your special move. Examples of this include Shield Crash, Ouroboros, and Ouroboros Gaze. The final type of move that we have in BO is something that hasn't been done in this community, I believe. We have lock moves. And as the sort of name suggests, lock moves essentially lock an opponent in an object. depending on the bay. Yeah, so they stun lock opponents in various objects. So if you look on the right, you'll see a move called Husk Strike from Jaeger Yggdrasil, and it locks the opponent in a bunch of vines. So I'm gonna stop talking because you guys are looking forward to something. How about we address the elephant in the room? Yeah, let's talk about Ark for a bit, shall we? Okay, so now a lot of you have been wondering what Ark could be, or could stand for, or mean for you guys, and I'm here to confirm one single thing. Ark is not a release date for the game. The game now is nowhere near its full release, not because we're slacking off, but because we want to make this game magical. And before you say it, right? Next thing, please. Ark is definitely not a separate game. If you didn't get that reference, sorry to break it to you, Mr. Destiny Wing YT 1666. Ark is not a separate game. So don't let that crush your hope, though. You want to stick around for this because this part is probably one of the most important part of this conference. Ark stands for, next slide, Alpha. Continue. Release. Countdown. Yeah, take a second to digest that. After 11 months of working daily, only 5 more months on average than other games that have come out recently in this community, we're ready. Wait, hold on. Don't go for it. I'm still talking. Sorry. Ark. Only 5 more months on average than other games that have come out recently in this community. We're ready for you guys to see what we've been cooking. Ark is our protocol word for the phases that lead into alpha release. There are 4 phases to this. Keep going. The GDE, the CEST phase, the OT phase, and finally, alpha release. Now you might be asking, KFC, that's a lot of letters. What they actually mean? I'm glad you asked. Let me elaborate. So to start off with, let's start with the GDE phase. GDE stands for Game Developer Expo. This phase officially kicks off Ark and the final countdown till alpha release. What does that actually mean for you guys? Well, it'll be the first time that the general public can get a taste of BO. All the game devs who found the time to come here, as well as some others, will be the first public players of Bladers Odyssey. The phase will run for 3 days and serves 2 purposes. Number 1, it gives us devs a little look from another dev's eyes into what BO could use to make the experience better for you guys. And secondly, we'll be using feedback from the GDE on our promotional material. 2 birds, 1 stone, am I right? After the GDE phase, we have the CEST phase. Make sure you guys are all here and present because these parts are going to be exciting. CEST phase stands for Content Embargo Stress Test. Content creators, I'm looking at you. I actually have some names here. Lusagi, Terra, Not Real Wood, Spizo, Odie, I'm looking at you guys. After the game developers, the next person to experience Bladers Odyssey will be our beloved content creators, who've been working so hard on our reach for the past 11 months. We want to give back to them and also push our marketing to further reaches. The CEST will last 2 weeks and content creators will be experiencing 14 of our 25 days. 1 added in every single day. And just to put the cherry on top, the CEST also officially marks the media ban on Bladers Odyssey lifting. Meaning you'll be able to watch your favorite content creators and we'll be able to watch our favorite content creators finally making content on what we've been working for the past 11 months. Now I know I'm probably boring you with all the talk about content and game dev, so let's move on to you guys real quick. Our community, our #1 supporters. These past 11 months have been an amazing journey getting to know all of you in our server and working for you guys over the lifetime of the game. I know that other games are dropping in the Beyblade market, but a lot of you still remain loyal to us. We appreciate every single bit of that. We know we've spent more time than our competition on this game, and we apologize for that. We strictly believe quality takes more time than quantity. We want to give you guys a game that's worthy of all the support you've shown us. Through polls, interacting with us, or just, hey, are you guys doing okay? Message in chat. All those little things add up. That's why BO is the game it is today. When you all play BO, I hope you realize the amount of effort and care we put in to fine-tune these systems for you guys. But wait, let's get back to that sentence real quick. When all of you play BO. When will you all play BO? Well, that's the next phase of Ark, the OT phase. The OT phase stands for, can I get a drum? Well, it's already on the slides, but Stands for open testing. Yeah, I can already see some people getting excited in chat. You heard me right. I didn't stutter. Open testing. After the CESD phase, every Blader, every Bay fan, every supporter of BO around the world will be able to experience Blader's Odyssey for a limited time. The open testing phase will last 1 week. It has 2 main purposes: to see what you guys think of our game and give you back all the love you've shown us, as well as to see how much stress our game servers can handle. Open testing will play out in 2 phases. From the Monday of release till Wednesday, we won't have any optimization systems active. From the Thursday till Sunday, all optimization systems will be active, just to see how the game plays with optimization and without. After all of these phases are done, after all the devs, all the content creators, and you all have played, the game will formally enter alpha phase. All the alpha players out there, your time is coming soon. We're super excited for you guys to experience what we've made. After 76 alpha sneaks, you'll be able to experience the real deal. But you might be asking, KFC, if this is the alpha phase, how much will we exactly be able to play? Are you sure you're not overhyping this? Well, let me answer that for being such an awesome community. The PowerPoint ends here, so if you go to the next slide, yeah, you'll see that the PowerPoint ends. This wasn't meant to be in the plan, and I know the flyer for this event said we'd ended off at ARC, but I know you guys are dying to ask questions, but bear with me for a little bit longer because I'm going to show you guys an exclusive segment. I'm going to take you one step further and show you what alpha release looks like. So alpha release will last 20 to 25 weeks. In this time frame, we'll be dropping a new bay as an update into the game every single week. How does that keep you guys engaged? Simple. Alpha phase takes place in the game's casual mode. Feel free to go back and watch what that means after the stream has been uploaded to YouTube, but the gist of it is, the bays won't be given to you. You'll have to work to find bay parts around the map. Then build your bay. Then battle. We'll be introducing a baseline leveling system, which is nowhere near as advanced as our fully intelligent multi-factor leveling system we'll be introducing later down the line. This should introduce some level of grind to the game as you guys asked for, because we care about your opinion. And that's why alpha testing is a game of opinion too. All the feedback you give us, all the support you show us, all the love you throw at us will give back to you tenfold. Like I said before, I'd like to end off today's conference by reiterating that we don't want to be the best Beyblade game in the world. We don't want to have a super flashy grinding system or a completely mindlessly numbing gameplay loop. We want to be a game that is for you guys. A game that you enjoy because all of your words make this game possible. A game where the dreams you dream come to life. The suggestions you guys make and the feedback you give us. The suggestions you guys give and the feedback you guys give. My bad, hold on. The suggestions you guys give and the feedback you guys make. That is what Blader's Odyssey is. Whether it will be the best game or not, that depends on how much you guys love what we got in store. On behalf of the BO team, here's to a new dawn. Thank you.